allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There he goes.
All right, approved minutes from April 27th, 2026, regular city council meeting.
I move to approve.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Bob, Dave, you good?
I'm good.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consent agenda. A, approve payments and disbursements. B, approve election judge wages. C, approve liquor store clerk hire. D, approve lifeguard hires. E, approve solar policy update. F, approve firefighter leave of absence. G, approve concrete quote for alley repair.
How many lifeguards does this put us at now?
I think we're at 11. And then a lot of those, at least 3 of those are gonna get WSI later, either end of May or end of June. So we should have, 5 or 6 WSI? Our manager is getting WSI as well.
This is the first time I've seen this, so I have a question about the solar policy update.
Yes,
There's a mention of an interconnection fee of $500. Is that a one-time fee?
yes. And then so I wanted to be sure to make sure to mention that this is all referential mainly to residential systems, anything under 40 kilowatts. Anything after that, we enter direct negotiations. So that's what this applies to. But yeah, that interconnection fee would be mainly to just cover because we have legal involved when we get an interconnection agreement. We have not been charging for that at all, or
Just that $100.
yeah. So it's something that we're allowed to do to cover some of the costs that it takes to get one of those agreements put together. So it's just making up some costs that we have not charged for in the past.
So how were you doing it before? How were you charging people to connect?
We were just doing the $100 fee.
Oh,
Basically, we were doing our labor for free by state law. We weren't allowed to charge for it.
how come we can now?
Changing the law.
Yeah, just so in law change. And then we will have, not necessarily in response, but also along with this, we'll be pursuing some solar ordinance updates in the future as well. Just things that we've been working on the same ordinance for probably about 20 years that we need to update as the laws have changed and practices have changed.
All looks good to me.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
John, you good?
Yeah.
Bob, you good? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Public comment?
Our beautiful post office.
Yes.
It is in need of some TLC. The lawn's not being mowed. It should be repainted. The above top and like the light posts are all rusted. It just would be really nice. It's such a beautiful building and right in the middle of our downtown. It would really be nice if they would maintain it. How do we address that?
Well, we can help you for sure with the lawn.
It looked good this morning. It was just
Oh,
that
good.
US Fish and Wildlife owns it.
Yeah, that's
We don't have any appearance ordinance
Right.
on, stuff like the rest of it, but
the best thing that we can probably do is figure out who to talk to.
Okay.
And I know we have a unique situation, not unique, but it's very irregular that the post office anywhere is owned by the government. And so that typically makes things a little bit harder. Most of the time it's a private building with a lease on it. So I know we had a little bit of a clinic with that when we did the street project 3 years ago, just as far as who to communicate with and all that, but that's something that we can try.
Okay.
I wonder, we might even know, we might even have that record of who to talk to from
They're always
the
in the postmaster since that project, so start with the postmaster, they work with their higher up.
Postmaster. So do you just want me as a citizen of Caledonia to send an email or to,
Well,
or
in
is that
this-
something the city would have a vested interest in, and how should we approach?
I would say an interest maybe, but no authority to do anything. Because we don't have anything to tell them they have to conform to a certain ordinance to get their building painted or anything
No,
like
but
that.
it's the right thing to do.
I would say, how do I want to put this? I think the more that they hear would be the better.
So
Okay.
maybe both entities and even more community members saying something would
And
maybe help.
there was some, I know there was, I saw a post on one of those neighborhood groups last week last week about kind of the condition of the outside,
Okay,
asking who owned it.
so if you could help me find out who to get in contact with by email, I will run with it.
Gladly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
I think it helps too that it's brought up and it'll probably get put in the paper and hopefully they see some of those things.
I just think it's important, there's right ways to approach things, and sometimes we pick our battles, and
Yep.
I think to know upfront before I, rant and rave gets us nowhere, and then I lose credibility. So I would just like to
Never.
do it the right way and go to the right person first. So,
Perfect.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Casey?
We've got not too much to report here tonight. Street department keeping up on their normal duties. Water, we had a residence here that's been abandoned. Owner came back recently, found the house was flooded, contacted us to shut the water off. Curb stop wasn't working, so we ended up hiring somebody to dig it up, replace it, and shut it off. That's kind of a to be continued program there. Pool, guys are working on getting that cleaned up, should be filled up here this week. Get everything up and running, so we're ready for training. I think they got training scheduled the 24th and 5th here, so we're ready to rock. Nothing new in sewer. Electric, nothing too much there, I guess, out of the ordinary. Stormwater, West Washington, South Dakota, we had a pipe into a structure that failed, so the fellers dug that up, replaced the pipe, got everything put back together, street patched in there last week, so we're back in good shape there. And then we got a manhole down on East Lincoln and Second that's failed. Pretty old, got some bad joints in the pipe and whatnot, so we've got a new manhole structure on order, should be here in a few weeks. And then the commodity shed project here, we've got a lot of that framed up now. Hopefully finish that in the next week or two. Plenty going on in zoning, quite a few applications here for the next planning commission next Monday. We've got, I think 3 or 4 items on that one, and quite a few other applications, the day-to-day ones, some garages and sheds, and hopefully a few houses I hear coming for the year, so been plenty of action going on there. That's what I got.
Awesome. Jake?
All right. I'm very happy to tell you or to update you that the Deering Estates, all that contract work is done. So we just have to cut a check, which I think our side of it's fully executed. I think we're waiting on maybe one signature, and then we're just going to carry that out because it's already been approved twice. Last week I closed the 615 West Washington, that sale, as well as the EDA loan for the gym on that parcel from Elf Performance. So they're going to tie up a few loose ends and get going. So we're really excited to see that. I think that the little bit of highway development is going to be a very good thing. Show people that land is for sale and show people that development is possible. The 2025 audit is done. We have another clean opinion, which is excellent. Stephanie and I reviewed that last week, and then they'll be here on May 26th to come run through it for the council. And then the nursing home was purchased, as a lot of people know. There's a public hearing for multifamily residential use up there on May 18th, next Monday. We expect that to go pretty well, I hope. And
What time is that at?
4:30. We had our first meeting with our lifeguards last week, and as I said, we got about 11 of them. And with this WSI training that's going on later in June and all that, we're still going to try to figure out what we can do about some late season lessons. We have gotten actually almost no calls or anything about that. So we think that a lot of people probably solve that need elsewhere, but we think that if we can get some late season stuff, July, August lessons, we think that those will be well attended, and we can kind of focus on what we can provide and then try to do it as sharp as possible. We already received 90% plans for Warrior Ave for the extension. Those are off to Houston County, and then after that, they'll be on the way to MnDOT for final review. I won't say too much, but we kind of been told that I don't like to use terms like fast track because they end up being disappointing, but we're expecting some to get after this pretty quickly. We still think that we're good for a June bid. So June bid would mean July contract award would mean they would get to work. I mean, I think in July is realistic, or very early August. And then 2 weeks ago, I attended the Minnesota City and County Management Association conference up in Brainerd. I thought that was very interesting. There was some stuff about tariffs and local economies and all that in the session. That the one I remember by name is creating a workplace that does not suck, which I was interested in. That was very interesting. Just kind of what I thought was so informative. What was best about it is I was at a table with some people that I work with in the Metro, and one of them, the Sherburne County Administrator, Bruce Messelt, who has been doing this for a very long time. He's also quite a bit older than I am, and to get his perspective on it at the same time, and seeing how the older managers, younger managers all took it, and all took something good away from it too, because some of this stuff is a little new age as far as treating people well and all that type of stuff. So that was really interesting. And then I took as many chances as I could to ask people about development and how you basically manage it in a city, especially when you own the land, and come away with a lot of very helpful stuff. So it was good. And then last Wednesday, I was able to tour the Houston County Jail with their new committee. I don't know the name of it, but they have they're looking for a lot of input, a lot of plans for that building, a lot of what they want to do. And so they told me the library was off the table, but we'll find out. We'll see what else they got. So I'm going to follow that project. I'll probably volunteer some of my time to be on that committee and just be a part of it, because I think it's so interesting. And I had no idea what state that building was in. And so to go in there and see that it's down to studs and ready to be rebuilt again is very, very reassuring, I would say. So a lot of stuff going on. This meeting doesn't really reflect that, but there's a lot in the works, and we're going to be very busy this summer.
Have they decided on a bonding bill?
No, we have until the 18th. And typically in bond years, the bond bill is generally the absolute last thing decided. We've seen them add extra days onto the session. We've seen them decided at about 11:30 on that Monday night. So I would expect it to go to the wire. Oh, and I didn't mention this one. We have a lot of election judges coming back from our last time. We have a primary in August and general election in November. We're going to need a lot of help. And then so far, nothing has changed as far as any election laws or anything like that we have to be majorly aware of. Hoping that everything stays pretty steady and that we can just run the program that we've run.
New business, overtime reports, pay period April 13th through the 26th.
I know what ICR stands for.
Yeah, no, I didn't actually. I'm still going with incident report.
That look good to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
The next regular city council meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 26th, 2026 at 6 p.m. and I will adjourn the meeting.
This a record?
It's pretty close.
That's